probability. Let's have a look at a question that has to do with probability. That is Junior Cert 2024. Bea has 8 number counters. There are 4 red counters, numbered 1 to 4, and we can see that, and 4 blue counters, numbered 7 to 10. Okay, let's see what we have to do. Bea picks 1 red counter at random and 1 blue counter at random. Okay, we get that, we can imagine that. So what do we need to do with that? Complete the table to show all 16 different pair of counters Bea could pick. One has already been done for you. So we understand 2, this number goes first, this number goes second. So again, we are filling that in. 1 and 7, 2 and 7, 3 and 7, 4 and 7, 1 and 8, 2 and 8, 3 and 8, 4 and 8. And then here we go 1 and 9, 2 and 9, 3 and 9, 4 and 9, and last one 1 and 10, 2 and 10, 3 and 10, and 4 and 10. Now, pause just for a moment, because that's a kind of important concept that go with us forward to the living cert. What we've done here, we have looked at the number of all possible outcomes. Like that's all possible situations that can happen. How many of them do we have here? 16. Because I have 4 options that are multiplied by 4 options, and that gives us 16. That's the reason why when we are looking for number of outcomes, we multiply number of options by number of options. And it could be more than 2. Now in Junior Cert, we are just doing 2. In the Living Cert, that will increase to more, that we won't be able to do the table. That's the reason why we have to understand that concept of that table. Okay, what else do we need to do here? Find the probability. So when they are saying find probability, in the most basic concept of probability, we think about fraction. On top of our fraction is our event, the one we want, and on the bottom of the fraction are all events. So what kind of probability we are looking for? That one of the counters Bea pick is a 7. Now, very often it's easier to consider first all events. So all events are all possible outcomes here, isn't it? That's all of them. What is the one we are looking for? A pair with 7. Right, okay. So all possible outcomes we know is 16. How many pairs have 7? Look at our table, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. When it comes to probability, we always put that in our calculator to see whether it can be simplified further. And here it can be, it's 1/4. Okay, let's have a look at last part of this question. List a pair of counters where both numbers are prime. So look at the words that are highlighted, both and prime. Well, first of all, what is a prime number? That's what we need to understand. A prime number is a number that divides only by itself and 1, excluding 1. Yeah, so 1 is not a prime number, but every other number that can only be divided by 1 and itself. Okay, so, and both of them have to be prime. So let's consider which will be the prime numbers here. So we know it's not going to be 1. Yeah, we know it's not 1. Let's just get some color here. So anything that has 1 in it is not going to be included. Okay. 2, that's a prime number, divides by 2 and itself. And 1. 3 divides by 3 and 1, prime number. 4, not a prime number, divides by 4, by 1, and by 2. So any pair that contains 4, it's not a prime number. Now, 7. 7 divides by 7 and 1, and that's it. So that's a prime number. 8 divides by 4 by 2, not a prime number. So anything that contains 8 is not going to be prime number. 9 divides by 9 by 3, not a prime number again. Anything that contains 9, and then 10 as well, divides by 5 by 2, so not a prime number. So that is the way we were able to fish out the two pairs, 2 and 7 and 3 and 7, that both of them have a prime number. It's a very typical question of your exam. Very often you have to do that. You always have a question that has to do some form of calculation of probability. Not always the table, but very often finding the probability, that idea you will have there, and that will go with you forward to your leaving cert.